Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Mind Over Matter with Sankit. In this episode, we'll be talking about how we can deal with procrastination. So generally we have this habit of procrastination, but we are not really aware of it because it has become a way of living for us. Now, procrastination is not just rampant in our big tasks. It is also seen in the smallest of tasks. So if you want to solve your problem of procrastination, it's not by taking huge steps, but it's by taking very small steps. A simple example of this could be, for instance, you spill some water on your working table. Now, if you have the habit of procrastination, you'll see that you'll do it sometime later, that you'll clean it sometime later. However, you will have to face the consequences because say you have some paper that you require for your work and you might spoil that paper because you might put it on top of that spilled water. So you can see how in the smallest of activities our procrastination reflects, and whatever we sow, whatever our input is, whatever we do, we get the results accordingly. Now this multiplies and becomes a big habit, and we tend to procrastinate, especially when it comes to important tasks and more difficult tasks. So you might have noticed that if you have a certain task, the most important task for the day, and you have some other minor tasks which are not really important, but then what your brain wants to do is that it would rather do the minor tasks than accomplish the bigger task. Now there might be several reasons why your brain procrastinates. The first of these reasons is because your goal might be abstract. Now, for instance, if you plan and if you write clean the house, it's a very abstract plan because you've just written cleaning the house. Now you have not specified which part of the house. Now when you look at this task, you see it as a very giant, difficult task, and you want to run away from this task because you know that cleaning the entire house is going to be difficult. The same task, you can accomplish the same thing within the same time frame just by planning more specifically. For instance, if you write clean the living room and start taking action immediately, if you clean the living room immediately, then you can write clean the kitchen, and then you can clean the kitchen immediately. And when you do this, when you break the bigger task into different chunks, you can accomplish the same work within the same time frame, but with lot less worrying and lot less procrastination. You finish the work in time. Now similarly, another reason why our brain tends to procrastinate is because it doesn't really see an immediate reward. It sees a reward that is very far. For instance, you might have remembered from your school life, whenever you had some exam, it was very common for you to cram for the exams on the last night before the exam. I am also guilty of this to some extent and recently I discovered that there's a science behind this. So the reason we cram before the exam is that when we have a lot of time remaining for our exam, we do not really see a reward in working hard at the moment because the reward is so far. There is so much time left to get the reward. So our brain is developed in such a way that it seeks rewards all the time. Hence, when we try to study 10 days before the exam, we feel very bored and lazy because we do not have something that we can look forward to. Now what you can do for this is that you can create your own sets of rewards. For instance, if you complete a certain task within a certain time, you get to go for a walk, or if you complete a certain task in a certain time, you can treat yourself with some chocolates. So that is how you can actually convince your brain to do your important tasks. Now, even right now, even as you are watching this video, you might have several tasks for the day. So try remembering the most important task that you have for the day. Now, it's very likely that you do not want to think about it because it's so difficult and you know that you need to do it, but then you are not in the mood to do it. So what you can do is you can associate some form of reward with that task. If you finish that task, you'll get some reward, maybe chocolates or anything that you like. Maybe you can watch a movie on Netflix if you finish that task within a certain time. Now, when I say certain time, it's also very important to have a particular deadline for a task. So let's say you have the task of, I'll use the same example, cleaning your house, right? Even if you're specific and if you write clean the living room, but then you do not really mention a time in which you have to finish it, it's very likely that you'll slack about the work. You'll say, yes, it's just a living room that I need to clean. I can do it anytime later today. And you might go to watch a movie before you do that task. But after you watch a movie, you become addicted to the stimulus that you get from the movie. You become addicted to entertainment. You become drawn towards more and more movies, and you would want to watch more and more series and more episodes. So you enter this loop. And while this is happening, at the back of your mind, you know that you still have to do that most important task. But again, you know that you're not doing as you're wishing, and that is when you enter a cycle of self-hate, because you start despising yourself, you start punishing yourself mentally, because you know that you had to do something but you did not really have the courage to do it. So again, coming back to our solution, you can associate some form of reward, and you need to also set a particular deadline for your time, and you also need to set a particular deadline for your work. For instance, if you have to clean the living room, you can assign the time frame of 2 hours to that task, or it can be anything. It also depends on how much you need to clean, but you can set a reasonable estimate of how much time you need to give to a certain task. When you do this, you become motivated and you actually become determined to complete that task within that certain time. And if you complete that task within the mentioned time frame, you can again reward yourself. But then it's very important that you do not become addicted to your rewards, because you're highly unlikely to perform your second most important tasks if you keep on rewarding yourself by slacking and by watching movies or having a lot of chocolates. So the point of this is that if you convince your brain that there is something to look forward to if you complete a difficult task, it is highly likely to perform at its best. So in this way, if you're having trouble with procrastination, if you're having trouble with performing your tasks in time and efficiently, you can use the following methods that we discussed in this video. One is rewarding yourself whenever you do a certain task. The second is setting specific goals so that you do not really lie to yourself. You're honest to yourself about what you want to accomplish. And the third thing is that you need to set a particular time frame in which you promise yourself that you'll finish the work, after which again, you'll get the reward. Both the reward of having accomplished the task plus some chocolates and some movies. If you like this video, do not forget to like this button. Also, if you like whatever is happening at Sound Health Solution, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. If you have any other problems with procrastination, you can write it down in the comment section and we can engage and discuss through the comment section. Until next time.